In the unforgiving world of the NBA, a single blunder can derail a perfect career, even for those at the top of the food chain. For Kevin Love, he stumbled across a mistake that robbed him of his prime, yet he wouldn't change it for the world. As his career slowly drifted into obscurity, many forget how brilliant a player he used to be. His once promising career devolved into a roller coaster ride full of highs and lows, riddled with power struggles, incoherent game plans, and stifled potential. Yet, in the end, an NBA title completely redefined his legacy. In retrospect, Kevin Love will be best known for his stint with the Cavaliers, but the player he was in Cleveland paled in comparison to his prime in Minnesota. Every now and then, Love would eviscerate an opponent, racking up a 50-piece while grabbing 20 boards. In 2014, he averaged 26 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 4 assists a game, joining an exclusive club with only Kareem, Wilt, Baylor, and Cunningham. That year, he also recorded PER of 26.9, matching Tim Duncan's 2003 MVP season. A great mix of physicality and sharp instinct allowed Kevin Love to dominate the boards. Like Barkley, Love possessed a near mythical ability to out-rebound opponents way taller than him. By his third season, he led the league with 15.2 rebounds per game, including 4.5 offensive boards. Once he secured the rebound, he would immediately flick it ahead 60 feet down the floor for an open layup, all in one fluid motion. Likewise, when defenders collapsed on him in the post, he could thread the needle with pocket passes for easy finishes at the rim. Though often mistaken for a catch-and-shoot specialist, Love could pull up off the dribble surprisingly well, and occasionally knock down fadeaway jumpers and step-back threes. In 2014, he matched the production of Clay and Harden by averaging 6.6 threes a game, all while shooting more efficiently than Ray Allen at 37.6%. Despite being one of the best players in the NBA, the Timberwolves' constant disarray prevented Love from ever seeing the playoffs. They were guilty of passing on both Steph Curry and Paul George on draft nights, all while Love was screaming for help. And with one of the lowest payrolls, Minnesota became a big revolving door of player carousel, cycling through as many as 27 different players in a season. There was barely any resemblance to a plan in this dysfunctional franchise, leading to a disgruntled Love forcing his way out. Minnesota granted his wish by sending him to the Cleveland Cavaliers as part of LeBron's coming home package. For Love, this was a dream come true. In the blink of an eye, he went from a perennial loser to the betting favorite of winning the NBA title. Little did he know, he was about to go through a journey nobody ever expected. For a juggernaut like the Cavaliers, they had a championship or bust narrative written all over them. And coming from a deep deprivation of success, Love was willing to make any possible adjustment to accomplish this goal. From the get-go, Love was instantly relegated to number 3 in the pecking order, behind both James and Irving. A massive switchover like this didn't just require him to have fewer touches and take fewer shots. It was more about retooling his game to accommodate his new superstar colleagues. Stylistically, Love had to reinvent himself as a floor-stretching big who could thrive in a run-and-gun style of offense. This held true especially when the league was swiftly entering the small ball era, where post plays became a total afterthought. Their offense was so much tougher to stop when they spread the floor and pushed the tempo. In an effort to keep up with the ever-growing pace on the floor, Love decided to lose 30 pounds of weight. It was such a gamble, since his belly fat had done him wonders. Love's exceptional physicality didn't just come from his athleticism, but now he had to fall back to his length and mobility, which were average at best. In reality, playing for the Cavs was way tougher than Love had ever imagined. In Cleveland, Love declined dramatically across the board. His usage plummeted, and so did his points, rebounds, assists, and almost every counting stat imaginable. He went from a guy taking nearly 20 shots a game to someone who barely averaged 12. On offense, Love was relegated to a jump shooter who was planted as a decoy in the corner. When he was on the floor, he looked passive and totally overwhelmed. Within a year, Love went from having 8.4 assist opportunities per game to having only 4.1, and his free throw attempts were also down from 8.2 to 4.3 per game. Defensively, Love constantly got targeted for being a literal traffic cone on the perimeter. Whenever he was caught in a mismatch on the open floor, he struggled to stay in front of his man, and it's painful to watch him try. Even advanced metrics suggested his value fell off a cliff when he played for the Cavaliers. His VORP, value over replacement player, dropped from 7.3 to 1.6 in less than a year, and his win share was also down from 14.3 to only 5.9. A LeBron James-led team typically did three things on offense: drive to the basket, kick out for threes, and occasionally isolate on the wing. On top of that, everybody played defense. In Cleveland, players either found ways to fit into those three categories, or they trimmed the fat from their game and languished into a supporting role. Unfortunately, Love had to languish. First off, Kevin Love's body wasn't built for rim running. He would be greeted with humiliating rejections and made a fool of himself whenever he tried. When Cleveland traded for Love, the player they were promised was a floor-spacing defensive anchor who reminded them of Chris Bosh. The player they ended up receiving, however, was a glorified Ryan Anderson. Love was asked to be a utility player who specialized in catch-and-shoot threes. But why would you want the league best rebounder standing 24 feet away from the basket? It was a total waste of his talent. On the other hand, a hefty bruiser type such as Kevin Love typically wasn't ideal for the up-tempo offense they ran in Cleveland. They often developed a huge identity crisis whenever he was on the floor. Because the more he was involved, the harder it became for them to speed up their actions. Consequently, everybody was better off when Love was tossed to a corner like a role player. For Kevin, the issue wasn't a lack of sacrifice. It was that all he could do was sacrifice. Kevin Love suffered from what we call the Chris Bosh syndrome, which meant his pedestrian numbers dramatically undersold his real value. Love was there to fill in the gaps and do the dirty work, boxing out, taking charges, and setting hard screens. Those were things that didn't show up on the stat sheet, but greatly impacted winning. However, people never noticed. Yet, they were quick to point fingers at him whenever the Cavs fell short. LeBron James even chimed in and threw a sneaky jab at him through a cryptic message on Twitter. He wrote, "Stop trying to find a way to fit out and just fit in. Be a part of something special. Just my thoughts."
That hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
After enduring all the criticism, drama, and passive aggression, on November 5th, 2017, Love finally broke down. When I got to the bench, I felt my heart racing faster than ever. Everything was spinning, like my brain was trying to climb out of my head. It was like my body was trying to say to me, "You're about to die." He suffered a panic attack and was immediately rushed to the hospital. When his teammates confronted him about his unprompted mid-game exit, Love was terrified. To avoid the stigma around it, he withheld the truth, causing a downward spiral of anxiety, depression, and further declining performance that took years to recover from.
That the spiraling Cleveland Cavaliers have landed on Kevin Love as the blame for everything that's going wrong. The Kevin Love stuff centers on some teammates' doubt that Love was really sick the other day when he left the arena at halftime of the game against Oklahoma City.
In professional sports, redemption is always possible. For Kevin Love, a championship ring could shift his entire narrative, making up for past mistakes and proving that, in the unforgiving world of basketball, the end always justifies the means. The 2016 NBA Finals saw the Cleveland Cavaliers take on a historically great Warriors team, posing a matchup nightmare for Kevin Love. Their fearsome backcourt targeted and exploited his defense all season long. Following concussion in Game 2, Love missed Game 3 and completely vanished in Game 5, scoring only 2 points in 33 minutes. Then in Game 6, he was nullified by 2 early fouls. Once again, Kevin Love was a full-blown catastrophe right before our eyes. But in Game 7, he finally came alive. He dedicated himself to defense, securing 14 rebounds and recording a game-best plus-minus of plus 19. In the pivotal final minute, with everything on the line, Draymond Green set a screen for Steph Curry, leaving Love alone with him. With the Oracle Arena crowd going crazy and no helping sight, Love faced the daunting task of stopping the unanimous MVP. Welcome to a moment in history.
Love picks up Curry. Curry steps back, fakes a three, drives again, shut off nicely, found a Green, 7 to shoot. Curry fakes the three, steps back, crossover, puts up a three. Rebound James with 30 seconds remaining. It's over, it's over. Cleveland is a city of champions once again. The Cavaliers are NBA champions.
What if Kevin didn't shut down Steph Curry? What if Kyrie didn't hit that dagger 3? What if LeBron didn't make that crucial block? Without those lucky breaks, will we see his career in a different light? Most likely. But luckily for Love, he never had to worry about those what ifs. He could simply point to the championship ring. That's something that nobody could take away from him.